AITA for refusing to cook for my wife anymore after she ate 3 of my meal prepped meals? In my household, my wife doesn't cook. She sucks at it, and it's just easier on our taste buds if I cook for us. Earlier this year, we both decided that it was time for us to get back in shape. I decided to research some macro-calorie friendly cooking recipes and got big into meal prepping. My wife stuck with it for a few weeks but ultimately decided to quit. Luckily, this wasn't too much an issue for me. She's a nurse and frequently works much later than I do, as my typical workday is from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I would make my meal prep meals for the week on my off day, and then I would make dinner. Like I did prior. When I meal prep, I make 6 days worth of 3 meals. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and just swap around lunch and dinner. Last week Thursday morning for work, and planned on coming back Friday morning and stopping through home, grabbing anything I needed, then heading into the office. This was known for weeks in advance, so I didn't spring this on my wife. I figured that she would be able to make sure she and our kid got dinner that night and breakfast that next morning. The next morning, I'm running late and drive through home looking for my last breakfast and lunch for the weekend. They're gone. I don't have time to ask my wife, nor do I want to wake her up early before her shift, so I just go. I end up skipping breakfast and lunch. I get off of work and I'm starving and decide I'm just gonna eat dinner early, and when I look for my dinner for that night, it's not there. This is what set me off. When my wife gets home, I ask her what's up, and then she admits to eating the meals. I tell her that I had portioned out food for an entire day, and she ate all of it in a single night. She said it was my fault as I didn't make anything for her and our kid to eat, and I just left the meal prep things, so they had to eat those. We got into an argument and she told me I was being selfish. So now I decided that if I'm selfish for expecting her to feed herself for one night, I would just not cook anymore, as I'm doing a lot of work for a selfish person. For the past week, I made my meal prep meals and store them at work and let her figure out what she wants to do for dinner by herself. Of course I still cook for our kid, but only one portion small enough for him to eat by himself. I told her I would keep this up and that she should learn to cook for herself if she's not happy about it. She told me that she's too tired when she comes home from work to cook, and that I'm being incredibly petty. I think I'm justified, and I'm pushing her to learn a life skill she should have by now. AITA? I'm going to say NTA. I think you've clearly established that you're meal prepping for yourself, as she no longer wanted to participate. She can't be that bad at cooking that she couldn't have made something easy for one night, or at least ordered takeout or something. Is it petty? 100%. Is it deserved petty? 100%. To be called selfish because you expect her to figure something out for one night is ridiculous and insulting. NTA. OMG. She's not helpless, she could totally learn to cook. How are people saying he is abusing his kid when 1. He said he did cook for him. 2. They're a grown-ass person. The second parent, who has the responsibility to actually feed the child. He prepared meal for himself. Told her he happened to not make anything one night, and suddenly he's abusive because apparently his adult wife can't cook. If the role were reversed, and I hate to say this, everyone would say the wife is the abusive one for not being capable to feed her child. A plate of pasta and some nuggets shouldn't be too hard to do for one night, and every kid like those. Like, NTA. But your wife sure is. And a bad parent. And a bad spouse. NTA. You clearly meal prepped for work. I'd be really upset if I thought I had food and my partner ate all of it. Then had the nerve to call me petty when I'm the one cooking all the meals. She only had to make something else for one night. Even if you aren't a great cook, You should be able to feed yourself something. NTA if she can't cook. They make these handy, pre-made meals you can purchase by the dozen and store in the freezer. Or she could order takeout. You made the same things she knows you make for yourself, but decided to take for them to eat. NTA. When a man does what your wife is doing, we call it weaponized incompetence. NTA. Both work. Both are exhausted after work, yet only one is willing to prepare food while the other person just calls them selfish due to them being incapable of preparing food whilst still being an adult. Man facepalming. NTA cooking is one of those things every adult should know and can learn. If she doesn't want to learn, then she can pay more for prepackaged meals. NTA I do feel like the whole thing could have been handled a bit better, but I get it. Emotions can run high sometimes, especially if we're hungry. The thing I'm a bit confused about is, could she not simply order a takeaway or something for that odd day? Even if a takeout sounds too expensive, you could always store some store-bought pre-cooked food for emergencies. Don't know why this can't easily be resolved. NTA. She didn't starve before she met you, so she is obviously able to feed herself. She just got a little too comfortable to eat your cooking to a point she takes it for granted and crossed the line of feeling entitled to your portions if there is no food prepped for her. Showing that what she think is granted in fact isn't will help her get her feet on the ground again. And appreciating you doing all the cooking and should stop the entitlement. A friend of my mom did this too. When she figured out her husband takes everything she did at home for granted, she booked herself a vacation home and stayed there till he begged her to come home. It took him 3 weeks though, due to being very proud and stubborn. But he realized what she really did at home for him and the kids and apologized and never forgot. From then on to show her his appreciation. Both worked 100%. In her generation it was just more accepted. The wife additionally takes care of the household and kids. So this wasn't a, she is the Psalm. It's her job situation. She just did way more at home than him. Funny thing is, what really broke his spirit after 3 weeks is his mom calling him and berating him BC he forgot her B-Day. OC it was his wife who reminded him every year. But I think his wife never knew that this was it that broke him, and it didn't matter. It worked anyway. NTA. She couldn't cook for herself and your child for one night? So she took your prepped meals and she called you selfish? Wow. Ain't that a twisted way of thinking? NTA. She's a grown woman with a child. No less. Grilled cheese. Spaghetti. Sandwiches. She's not helpless. NTA wife needs to learn the moral behind, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Tears of joy. NTA. If you hadn't prepped food, she would have figured something out. It's ridiculous how many grown-ass adults don't have basic life skills, man or woman. NTA. I have a feeling if she texted or called you to let you know she ate the meals, you would have been less upset than coming home hungry and expecting your dinner to be where you left it and it's gone. She is the one being selfish. NTA. Just because she isn't a good cook doesn't mean she can't cook. Everyone can cook, even the most simplest of meals. It's more annoying for you when you know you have something ready prepared for yourself and then you to get it and it's gone. Plus that's no excuse that she won't cook because she's tired after work. Lots of people feel that, but they know they have to do it. NTA. Every adult has at least one meal they can make. It's just the basics of adult ingredients. And I refuse to believe she could have ordered a takeaway if necessary. NTA. She is a grown woman. She can cook for herself. I would have been livid if my husband did that. I don't cook, I hate it. But anyone can pour a bowl of cereal or make a PB&J for one night. I'd kill to have a cooking partner. NTA. NTA, she needs to learn how to cook for many reasons. You can't always be there. She has a child to feed. Plus, if she is too tired to cook every day, then she can do like you do. Cook enough for the week on her days off.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.